All right, we are live. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of The Gentleman's Code, episode 24, Kobe episode of The Gentleman's Code. R.I.P. Kobe, the Black Mamba. We're going to do this one for you today, but welcome in, everybody. Another installation here. We got January 22nd. This year's already flying by like we talked about a couple weeks ago, so if you guys aren't getting up on your shit, make sure to get up and do it. I made a post yesterday about YouTube and kind of the success that we're starting to have there. So everything's rolling. If you guys are watching, make sure to subscribe, like the live streams, and most importantly, if you guys aren't in the community in the Gentleman's Code, in the Taylor's Code, excuse me, go to the link in the bio, join up there, the school community, get involved with all the other gentlemen making money in crypto, e-commerce, everything else that we're doing. So I'm going to toss it over to Priyama and we'll get today's show kicked off.
Kobe episode's fire. I didn't even think about that. 24. That's nice. Come on, boys. Come on, gentlemen. What were you just saying? If you're not inside. Yeah, if you're not inside, I mean, I don't even know. There's no hope for you. There's no help. I mean, you just show up on YouTube. You like the streams, you like the podcast, you like the energy, but you don't join the organization. All right. All right. So, I was gonna make a point real quick. I was looking at the live stream. So we're cooking on X, we're cooking on Twitch, we're cooking on YouTube, and so the streams have been blowing up. We're getting double digit live viewers now. Just after a couple of months, people are showing up, people are excited, fired up. But the one live stream that we lack a little bit on the live viewership. But whenever the video goes up, it goes live on the YouTube accounts. Views pump. The gentlemen love this podcast.
Oh,
But the live viewership is low. Interesting. I wonder why. You guys can't handle a little bit of an early stream, huh? Your guys' favorite streamer, or second favorite streamer, third favorite streamer, Kai Cenat. He's going live at 2 p.m. while you guys are waking up getting breakfast. That's all you catch him, but you can't catch the Gentleman's Code live. You guys got to wait till the upload later in the day. Come on, dude. That's fucking outrageous.
I thought he was a night owl, though. I thought he was more 8 p.m. catching the before you go to bed.
I bet he is. I have no idea. I just fucking threw out a number.
Yeah, I don't know either. But no, that's a good point. The gentlemen need to get up and get the Gentleman's Code in before they get to school. While you're watching your cereal, or while you're making your cereal and eggs and a little toast, put on the Gentleman's Code for your mother in the kitchen.
Yeah, while your English teacher is about to go through the agenda for the day, throw on the Gentleman's Code, give her a fucking heart attack, make her fucking have a panic attack hearing the gentleman talk shit, talk about no transgenderism. She'll fucking faint.
Yeah, you're gonna fail English.
English teachers are always the most liberal bitches alive. I think I've told you this one. At my first semester at Pitt, I had so they accepted me late into Pitt. So when I finally got to put together my class schedule, they had filled up all the English classes. So At the time, 18 years old, I don't know what's going on. So they had an English comp, or they had a comp 101, English comp 101, Gen Studies. It's like, all right, whatever. Sign up, show up. It's a gender studies class.
What does that even mean? I've never taken a gender studies class. What do you study?
Male and female. There we go. I just finished the study of gender. I show up. It's a gender studies English composition. So all we write about is gay shit or transgender shit.
Really?
I had no idea what I was walking myself into. And this is how and anyways, but my point is the English teacher is always the most liberal people alive. Incredibly, it's just the shit that she was saying looking back on it in the classroom, it was insane that they would teach this at a university. And I'm not kidding, this is how I know I was a hero. I was the only kid in the entire class, probably about 30, 40 people in this class. Only person in the entire class who ever gave her any pushback on anything she said. And I wasn't even trying to be a dickhead, but I was the only one who gave pushback, and they probably thought I was such a
It's
dickhead.
like I just don't understand. What are you talking about?
Bobby, I'll never forget it. I was in there with one of my good friends, Mario. You ever meet Mario Cardona? Cardona?
I don't think so, no.
Probably shouldn't be name dropping people, but but she had so she said, I'll never forget this. She goes, "Oh yeah, so it was something along the lines that you're not assigned a gender at birth." She made this a statement as if it was a fact. Right? This is the hubris of this lady. She goes, "Yeah, and no, you don't know if somebody's a man or a female at birth. There's not a gender assigned at birth. You don't know what they are until they decide or some shit like that." I raised my hand because I genuinely was just like, "What?" And I go, "Well, what do you mean? At birth, I mean, you're either a boy or a girl. It's male or female." She goes, "Well, no, not quite, not exactly." Da, da, da. Yeah, it was outrageous. She was speaking about things as if they were,
Bless you.
thank you, as if they were facts.
You know what's
And
crazy is that that's the first class they sign you up for when you got to Pitt. Well, and they trick you too because they make it gen studies. Like it could be general studies, like learning how to go to study hall, learning math. It
Mhm.
could be something simple, but they sneak it in there where they don't even tell you what it is, and then you're walking into, blue-haired liberal ladies class, and that's how they get these people.
Yeah, it's an indoctrination of that mindset at the university level. It happens in school. All this shit is getting taught in school. That's where it's happening. It's in universities and in elementary, middle, and high school now. All the teachers are fucking just these liberal goofies, and they want to teach your kids to be gay and transgender. That's that's not an exaggeration. That's where it's coming from.
And it's tough because it's kind of like we say the culture war all the time. But the conservatives don't have really a say in that sector because that's not the jobs or industries they work in. They work in construction, they work in plumbing, electrician, other jobs that require you to be out in the field all day, every day. So they're not teaching those positions in school where they have the access to these young kids to teach them different things. It's the other side. So when you say the indoctrination, that's what it is. It's like their side is teaching the youth, and the other side doesn't really have a say anymore,
Mhm.
besides the president now. But that's how it was.
Pompino. How about Pompino's? What did you think of the inaugural? What's it called? The commencement address.
Yeah, is that the one that he did inside the Capitol? Yeah, that one was
Cor-
good.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good. He touched on that, and that's what I liked about it. He didn't bring up anything new. Once he got in office, he was going to do this differently. No, his commencement address was everything he said he was going to do from back last year. And what we said, I guess one of the things he did was two genders, sign that with an executive order. So something that we're talking about, no more of this indoctrination of whatever fairy tale land people are living in. Other stuff, I think signed in the Gulf of America, which we talked about. So that's official. I'm gonna go hit the Gulf of America when the weather gets nice. Be one of the
Oh
first
yeah.
ones to put my toes in it. Um, but yeah, I mean everything else, all those executive orders, pretty much locking down the border, getting rid of DEI culture in the federal government, back to work order for people in the government. So everything he said he was going to do, got a lot of it done immediately with some executive order and acts like that. So I think he kicked it off well. And from the speech perspective, I think it was almost like a rally speech that I've heard before. It was very similar, touched on all the same points.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It felt he gave you a sense of confidence that yeah, shit was fucked up, but we're gonna make sure that we do shit the right way now, and we're gonna have a brighter future for the country, which is what you want from the president at that event. The thing with him is because I'm thinking about what happened whenever Biden got into office, and other presidents that I remember. What he has done differently, and nobody can take this away from him. I've heard even liberals and people on the other side who've commented on this as well, so they agree. He actually did shit immediately, and that's the number one thing that everybody says about all politicians and all presidents is they promise, 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 promise. They get elected and they don't do any of it. I remember the huge one that people were hoping Biden would do was, did anybody just forget that he was supposed to forgive all student loan debt?
Yeah.
He didn't do a single zero. He didn't for any nothing. He never did it. He just kept pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it
Yeah,
off,
they
and
like
then just never.
paused it and then pushed it, tried to get it, kept pushing it, and then ultimately it just fell through the cracks.
Yeah, so it's all these things that they promise you that they're going to do, the big ones that everybody votes them in for. But now you realize, oh wait, yeah, Biden could have just signed him an executive order and just fucking done it. Like he could have just done. But he did it. But Trump, he gets in there, he goes to the Capital One Arena, and then he goes into the Oval Office later that evening, and he's live the whole time, fucking signing shit, telling you exactly what he's signing, why he's signing it, commenting. Like, he has complete transparency.
That's what I
He's not trying to
love.
It's like you can't fault that.
Hmm.
And people are saying, "Oh, he's a dictator. He's this, that, and the third." I saw a fantastic tweet. Somebody goes, "Donald Trump is a dictator." Well, what dictator signs an executive order to stop government censorship and enact free speech and and give all the power to the people, etc.? It's like, what world are you living in that you're trying to this he's giving you rights back, not taking them away. But he's a dictator. It's like you're out of your mind, bro. This guy's not a fucking dictator.
No, people are crazy and they want to stir up anything they can. But I think, like you said, the executive orders is huge on day one, and it's something that he learned last time. That once he won the election in November, he's like, all right, we have like 2 months that we could plan out everything we want to do on day one. And talk about a busy first day of work. He was, probably up 5 a.m. getting ready, makeup, getting ready to go to the inauguration. Then he was working late through the night, and then I'm sure he's up early working these days. But yeah, that's what we were talking about with transparency, signing every single executive order, saying what it is, having the spokesman there telling him and telling us what the executive orders are. And everything that he signed was common sense stuff. It's not things that are like crazy out there that's going to hurt people. It was pretty simple walking down the border, which pretty much was what he ran on again. And it wasn't build the wall this time. It was, lock, just shut down the border, no more people in. And it was economy, energy, signing energy bills that are going to get people drilling oil in the Gulf of America and in Alaska, different parts. We have the largest oil reserves in the whole country up in Alaska that are untapped right now because Biden's economic policies. He didn't want people to drill for oil up there. So just you're going to start to see the price of gas coming down. You're about to see all different types of stuff go into effect here that'll hopefully start driving down the price of goods. And before you know it, eggs will be cheaper, milk will be cheaper, everything when you go into the grocery store will be cheaper, hopefully soon. But yeah, it was a great, I think, first day in office. It really showed the transparency. It showed that he's ready to get shit done, not sitting around doing nothing like who knows what Biden was doing for the past 3.5 years. So yeah, I thought it was a success.
Yeah. Something I was thinking about too when I was watching the commencement address and that whole ceremony, the inauguration. So you noticed how? Did you watch it? The whole?
Yeah, yeah, I watched clips. I watched when Biden left and they waved bye to Biden out the in the airplane and then he went inside. Yeah.
See a bumbleclot. Well, so I was watching the ceremony, and so they had Kamala and Biden right next or on the right side, right up front,
Hmm.
and then they had the other past presidents and shit. So something I was noticed because I was paying attention to if they were going to be respectful of the ceremony and him winning, etc. Not be sore losers, things that you learn in sports, good sportsmanship, not being a piece of shit loser.
Hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching, Biden and Kamala. So they're not clapping for anything. They're not standing for things. They're just, they gotta show the left that we don't approve of this guy at all. We can't clap. We're not gonna smile. But now, to be fair, they had to sit there like idiots while Trump was destroying their administration, and they're
Yeah.
sitting there like, So yeah, sure, you're not gonna be happy or look like you're thrilled, but have some respect for the for the ceremony. And one thing I noticed because I can't imagine thinking this way or being this type of human being. Kamala, this is how the woke mind people think. She's sitting there, she's not clapping for anything, she's not standing, she's not doing nothing. Then they have the black guy, the preacher, come up and do his whole thing. Did you see that black
Yeah,
preacher who
it's
was
like
going crazy?
he was doing some MLK stuff.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good.
Hmm.
So he's praying, he's preaching, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, wow, wow." Kamala her head's exploding right now. Her ears are smoking because she's not sure what to do because it's a black guy, right? And so she's black and she has to support the people of color. So I watched what she did. She's sitting there and she hadn't clapped, she hadn't stood the entire time. She kind of looks and then slowly does and then gives like a couple of clap because she wasn't sure if she was supposed to clap or not. But because he was black, I know exactly what she was thinking. She's like, "Oh, well, I got to clap for the black guy." But and so I thought to myself, this is how these people think. It's like their whole worldview is contingent upon is this the what's it called woke thing to do?
Hmm.
I don't want to support Trump. I don't want to support the president winning. I don't want to do any of this. Oh, but it's a black guy. I can't. Oh, okay. I gotta clap for the black guy. I gotta look good because I'm. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
I
Just
know.
clap.
It's crazy. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what MLK was talking about in his speech on MLK Day too. It's you do not judge a person by the color of their skin, but the actions of their character. That's the whole point of what he was saying, was to not look at people by color. And that's all that has happened over the past couple of years, is that people are and that's like the DEI policies and things like that, is judging people and giving people jobs and giving people education and giving people certain positions just because they are a minority and may not if there's not 10% of that minority in a field, we have to get to that 10% number just because we have to. We like that's the rule now. Like 10% need to be Latino, 10% need to be black, 10% need to be Asian, and that's like what they were going. But with that, you lose people who are actually really good at that field. Maybe software engineers should be 99% Indian and 1% black. Maybe,
Hmm.
maybe that's just the best people, or 99% are Indian and they're the best coders. All
Hmm.
right, well that sucks. I'm white, but maybe I should get better at coding. That's just something you got
Right.
to understand, and that's just a cultural thing. Some people are good at things that people aren't, and that's why
Right.
people are in certain jobs. I wonder what the percentage is of lawyers and other things that people do. It's not going to be an even balance all across the board in every job. So this whole, the thing that we've been going, the thing we've been doing over the past couple of years was really detrimental to the quality of work that people should have in everything they do.
Yeah, that's why I loved in the speech. Trump said we're not going to judge people based off of or we're going to be colorblind,
Hmm.
which, like you said, that's what MLK said. If you want to be all, oh, MLK, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He said Don't judge by the color of their skin. DEI is literally judging you based off the color of your skin. At what point are they going to let it go so that nobody cares about color anymore? Nobody cares about, bro. Nobody's racist anymore. I mean, are there pockets here and there? Do they exist? Yeah. What people are out here just blatantly being racist?
None. If you walk around the streets, there's nobody with pitchforks and signs or anything like that.
If you go out into the real world, it doesn't happen, bro.
No.
It's not just prevalent. I saw a great clip of Ari Shafir. You know who Ari
Hmm.
Shafir is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great clip. He was on this one guy. He used to be a judge on, I think, America's Got Talent, some shit like that. What's his fucking name? I forget his name, but some goofy. And he was trying to pretend that it's, scary, out in public and the racism and stuff. And he goes, Ari, do you ever feel, it's like, I'm sure you feel nervous and scared going out into the cities because you're Jewish and, the way that people could. Ari stops him completely in his tracks. Ari Shafir goes, I don't like, he goes, I don't believe that. He goes, what are you talking about? He goes, I go out all the time. Nobody, nobody's racist to me, and I'm pretty clearly Jewish. He is. It doesn't happen. Like, what are you talking about, dude? When you go out into the real world, this shit doesn't exist. It's just in people's phones and in their head. They think that everybody, and I keep hearing the thing about, uh, you know, the trans kids and the gay kids are afraid because Trump won. What are you afraid of? Who's beating you up? Nobody, nobody's attacking you.
Yeah, who said that? The pastor on the was that yesterday where they had
Yeah,
they went to like some
disgusting.
ceremony and
Disgusting. I
she
don't know
just
who the
said,
fuck that lady is. They should get her out the fuck out of the church.
yeah, that was weird. And like you said, it's like if you actually go in the normal world, if you walk around, you go to the store, you go to the park, you just do normal things. It's not like that. It's actually a very peaceful world where people are commingling together. And even if there is racism or whatever it is, it goes both ways a lot of time. There's a lot of cultural differences both ways. It's not just like one way anymore like it used to be. We're talking hundreds of years at this point, um, since the Emancipation Proclamation, Abraham Lincoln. So I agree. It needs to stop with the color battle. Color blindness is a great term, and people need to just start working together and not
Mhm.
hating each other.
Yeah. Even thinking in that way is gay. If you think in color, it's gay, bro. Nobody thinks like that. Why? Cash Patel said a good thing too. He goes, I didn't get here because of the color of my skin. I got here based off of, effectively the merit of his work, like the hard work that he did. And that's all it is.
Hmm.
Why does it have to go past that? Did you work the hardest? Did you deserve the opportunity? Great, you get the opportunity, right? Shouldn't go either way. You shouldn't not get it because of the color of the skin, but you also shouldn't get it because of the color of your skin.
Hmm.
Both ways is incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Just merit. So no, that's good. I'm fired up. Pompino's gonna do his thing. I'm trying to think what else. The inauguration was good. The speech was good. Executive orders. Oh, Bum Doe. Did you see Bum Doe's crying about the tariffs?
It took me a
Bum
second. I
Doe.
was like, who's bummed out? But yes, I
True
did see it.
bum.
I thought he was
Yeah.
leaving. Why didn't he just leave already? Just go home.
That's what I thought too. I thought he resigned. I'm like, why is this dude talking about tariffs? I thought Bum Doe was out of there.
They're about to get tariffed into fucking oblivion if they don't shut up.
Bro, Trump called him governor again. Governor Trudeau. Because is gonna become a state. That's incredible. That's the fucking funniest shit. Governor. Oh, Governor Trudeau.
It's even funnier now that he's president and he's like, yeah, the Governor Trudeau. No respect for the president title or the prime
Yeah, no
minister title.
respect for Canada. Fuck Canada. You're the 51st state of the United States. So
That's a good
it,
point. I wonder how quick those type of deals. We heard about Greenland, we heard about Canada maybe I don't know. Canada's gonna be a lot tougher than Greenland per se, but I wonder how quick a deal like that could get done with Greenland, and if it's even possible, monetarily with the United States. The budget, obviously, they cut a lot of spending the first day in different departments, releasing people. Doge is getting to work now, but also I heard an interesting theory, and let me know if you heard this, that with the release of Trump on Solana, for people that know that are in the community, where the market cap is and where they think the market cap could go, upwards of 20 billion, 30 billion maybe, and they're saying since Trump holds such large percent of the supply, that insiders hold still like 80% of the supply there, that Trump could just cut a piece of his supply and use that to buy this, pay off debt. So, what are your thoughts on Trump possibly dumping 50% of Trump coin to buy Greenland?
Well, I no longer hold it, so I'm for it. Pumping a rug pull it and go buy Greenland and then launch another coin. Yeah, he could because in supply, the value of his supply is there. I mean, at this point, we could check, but it's like 20 to 30 billion plus. Now, obviously, once he starts dumping that, the value, he's not going to end up getting that much out of it because he'll tank the price of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
But he could. I mean, if he's able to extract a couple Bs and just go buy Greenland, first of all, that's gangster because technically that's his project. That's not a government project. That's his money that he made. If he pulls out his money that he made to then pay for something for the US, that's gangster. I don't know anybody who's ever done that before. Take their own money and then use that to do stuff. I'm not sure
Yeah,
how that would work.
yeah, it's a wild theory, but theoretically becoming possible in today's day and age.
Yeah. But I hope we do. I want to get Greenland. I want to get Canada because if you do it peacefully and you buy it, that's fair. Okay, expand your territory. You bought it from Denmark. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if you're invading other countries and occupying other countries and against the people's will, no, I'm not saying do that. That's bad, right? Even though that's how almost not almost, pretty much every empire from the beginning of time did that. Yeah, even the U.S. whenever they first started, they had to take it from the Indians, the
Yep.
Native Americans. But if you can peacefully do it and expand your territory, do that. Why wouldn't you continue to grow and enrich the country? Try to make more money, make the people richer. That was another thing he said in the speech that I liked was he goes, "We got to go back to enriching the American people. Why are we continuing to fund all these other things outside the US? At what point do we get back to making America great again? Raising the standard of living here, making our healthcare better here. So when are we going to get back to improving our country and our people, enriching our people? It's like go for it,
Yeah, it's a
do
good
it.
point. It started hopefully yesterday or 2 days ago on Tuesday, with, like we said, drilling oil, pipelines, different geopolitical deals. And that's what I think it really comes down to with Greenland and, Canada. It's it's going to be tough, because Canada is its own country and it has its own people's ideals that vote on different things. But Greenland, like you said, it's very possible that it's cheap from Denmark. Denmark's not using it. It's like hundreds of miles away from them. It's just a power grab by them to hold on to a little bit more land mass that they say they control. But for purposes of the military, getting ships up there into the Arctic, because from Greenland to Russia and China is not that far. And I think I actually sent you a video on this. So one guy went up there and he did some research in Greenland and found out that actually a lot of Chinese companies build there and want to invest in there. So I think that's kind of where the U.S. is like, okay, this is very strategic. It's like on the East Coast, kind of. If you go up far enough into the ocean, it's very close to the mainland. So you don't want China building there. Don't want Russia occupying it. It's needed for our protection, and we already have a military base there, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I would like to see us get it and then
Interesting. That's
extract the
actually
military.
that's a good point because yeah, if it's so close, which it is to the US mainland, you do want that. You do. Otherwise, you're gonna yeah, you're gonna get pressure from China and these other countries. So why not occupy or not occupy it? Why not just make it a part of the U.S. and protect it ourselves? Because it's not like Denmark's protecting it. I mean, come
Couple,
on, Denmark.
they got a couple Danish bakeries on the premise, but other than that, what are they?
Yeah,
What
who
are
are
they?
they? Yeah, what are they fending off Russian and Chinese warships? No, they're gonna do what they want in those waters. So Denmark, come on now, let's not get don't get yourself in over your head. Let's go ahead and sell it to the U.S. People, the people of Greenland, the Americans, they want to become a part of the mainland. So make the deal happen, baby. And then Trumpino, he wants to make a deal for TikTok too. Did you see that?
Yep,
A little 50%
fifty
of the
percent American
company.
company.
I
That's
like that.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah. He's showing you how to negotiate, he's showing you how to do business. Why just give away free value? If the US and being legal in the US is the whole reason TikTok has value, well, why shouldn't the US get a piece of that?
I agree.
He's thinking like a businessman. He's trying to make this country not fucking poor anymore. We get fucking we get fucked from the fees that we pay to other countries, how much money we send to other organizations, overfunding things, overpaying for things. I mean, just the government spending is just it's asinine what they do with the US dollar just because they know they can. Dude, they pay these contracts, Trump talks about it, to Boeing for these planes for the government. Disgustingly overpaying. Everything they overpay just because they know they can print the dollar, so they have unlimited money, so they're just willing to pay whatever.
Yeah.
But then they're fucking the American people because that government spending is a tax on the American people. So they just overpay frivolous. They're frivolous with their spending, and then they end up fucking all the Americans because then we get higher taxes, more national debt, etc.
Yeah.
I think about something like that. It's just stupid. Like, why do you do that? Well, I know why because it's all a fucking grease. They're greasing each other's pockets.
Yeah.
You pay a stupid large contract to Boeing that obviously they would never get on the open market, and then they get some kickback. Whoever sends that contract to them, they sign it. Oh, cool. You overpaid by $100 million. Here's 20. Boom.
Yeah, the
Got you.
executives get their pockets full and they're happy and then they could retire off of a deal.
Yeah. It's a disgusting game they play.
So
Disgusting.
one other thing I saw that they announced yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, but the Stargate project. Did you see anything about this? The AI infrastructure plan with Microsoft, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft. What other companies say is there in here? SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, NVIDIA, Microsoft. Yeah, so this is one of those projects that came to life a couple weeks ago once Trump was elected. He had, I believe it was the CEO of SoftBank. Um, I'm not. It could have been somewhere else, but it was. He had one of the guys there. I believe it was SoftBank CEO. He's an older Asian man. Correct me
Hmm.
if I'm wrong, but the guy pledged to his he pledged $100 billion, and Trump was like, "Great," and that's when he talked about, "How about you make it 200 billion?" Um, and from there, I guess they were able to get other companies on board of this fund that they wanted to start it, this AI infrastructure to be able to build these new grids and to be able to build AI warehouses, farms, pretty much to servers to be able to run all this power we're going to need. So all these other companies jumped on, and now the fund is $500 billion for this project called Stargate, releasing 100 billion immediately as of yesterday. Funds are going to start going into building these things for to create jobs, AI infrastructure. They said it's going to create over 200,000 jobs for the American people, just building construction wise and then running these server farms. So a big project to keep America in front on the AI innovation front. Obviously, I think this kind of is going to leak into crypto. Once you have these big server farms run by these big companies and things will start to kind of feed off of each other per se. You know, you're going to need all this energy. You're going to need computing power. You're going to need servers and stuff to run this stuff. So I think that was a pretty good project that I saw that they're already starting on. And we'll see what happens. I think it's based out of Texas, so it seems like they're going to be building a lot of these server farms and these buildings in Texas.
Yeah, that's huge. And it's smart that he's doing that because otherwise, I was just talking about this with my father. It's competition because if we don't do it, other countries are going to do it and then we're going to fall behind and we're going to lose the race and then become just victim to whatever they want to happen.
Hmm.
Especially with something like AI, what the potential for that's going to be. We can't fall behind in that race. That's not a race that we fall behind in. So these moves that we're taking are good because it's trying to keep us competitive and keep us winning and keep us at the forefront of industry. That's what we have to do. The reason that America has all this power and luxury and we're able to command certain things from other countries and have the standard of living is directly based on the fact that we're innovative. We have lots of money. We're rich because we innovate. We create products or we have technology. If we stop that and we stop funding that, we stop being competitive, this American society that we live in, the great things that we all get to enjoy, that quickly is going to spiral down into a third world country if we just continue to go down a rabbit hole of just losing, 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 losing.
Hmm.
And it's good that he's bringing that energy back, saying, "No, we got to compete. We got to compete. And we got to win in these industries. Spend the money, innovate, make sure it happens here." Same thing he's doing with crypto. He said, "Spend the money, innovate, regulate it, make sure that it's happening here." Because why not? If everybody's going to use it anyways, and it's clearly a revolutionary technology, why not be the best here? Why not?
And that's what was so mind-boggling to me and people our generation of the last administration, that they
Yeah.
wanted to ship everything overseas. Everything else, like, let other countries do everything. Let them drill for oil. Let them build all this infrastructure. Let them do this. Ukraine this, Israel that. But import everyone from their countries here as immigrants. It was just so mind-boggling. It just didn't make sense. It was so like ass backwards. Like, I could see if there's immigrants coming over the border and we're building skyscrapers everywhere in Kansas City and LA, and we need all these workers because we can't do nothing, and it's a work shortage. But it was the complete opposite. Like, we weren't doing anything. Everything else was shipping. Like, companies were leaving, going to other countries, but it was just mind-boggling, and I'm so happy to be past that point. But like you said, yeah, we need to be innovators, and I think that's what we're going to start bringing back these jobs and these creative ideas that we could do here before other people get the chance on it, like China and some other countries that are really smart, are also very innovative. But that's the competition.
Yeah, winning matters. People gotta. It's this fairy tale land people want to live in, that we're in this bubble in the United States and that all that matters is what my pronouns are and my feelings and what we should do and being nice to this person and being nice. That world is not, it's not the real world. There are other countries out there that are competing, that are trying to take over our country, that are trying to enslave other people, that are trying to defeat us in the economic game, in the world power struggle. This is what other countries are doing.
Hmm.
So we can't just get into this routine of just not worrying about innovating and creating new things and just thinking that we're going to be rich and powerful for forever. Every empire has fallen at some point. Why? They got complacent, they got too rich and too lazy. They didn't defend their borders anymore. They just allowed people to flood into their country, which is interesting. What were we just doing the last 4 years? Let them in, let them in, let them in. That's how the Roman Empire started falling. It got to the point where they got so big and so comfortable,
Spread out. Yep. All over Europe.
they they couldn't defend their borders. So invasion of illegals, right? They couldn't defend their borders, and they got lazy. They got complacent because life was too fantastic for them. So they no longer wanted to train. They no longer wanted to have an army. They no longer wanted to. It's they weren't hungry anymore. It happens to people just in normal business and success. Whenever they start making a
Hmm.
couple of dollars, that they feel like, oh, this is good money. They get complacent. They stop doing the things that got them to where they got to, and then it's over. They fucking spiral right back down, and they lose all the success that they've had. So It's the same thing with the nation. You can't stop doing the things that made you what so great. Trump was saying it about being ambitious. He said, we got to be ambitious. We're the most ambitious that we've ever been. We have to stay ambitious. We have to stay hungry to continue to compete and continue to win. We went to the moon in the 60s. Why haven't we gone to Mars yet? We went to the moon in the 60s. Why haven't we gone to Mars yet? So, all right, Musk, let's fucking go, baby. Let's get to Mars. Like, continue to push the boundary. Let's be the first to Mars. Fuck everybody else. Let's be the first. So, I like that. I like that winning attitude, that winning mindset. I feel that they're gonna do that these 4 years. We're gonna win.
Yeah, we have so much to be excited about these next 4 years. Even just putting America back on the main stage. I'm pretty sure we're hosting the World Cup in 2025 all across America, which is going to be electric. Hosting
Nice.
hosting the Olympics in 2026. Um, so much to be excited about. America patriotism is back. And I think it's going to be, yeah, I mean, the Olympics is going to be sweet. That's going to be, I believe it's in LA, the LA Olympics, or
Hmm.
I don't know how they do that. If it's going to be all over different cities or where exactly. But I know it was in LA in the past. I don't know if they're going to do it again. But that's going to be like just winning. That's the attitude you got to have. As things
Right.
come up, people are going to put you down. People are going to try to compete as hard as possible, so you have to compete right back. And that's where we're at in this point of time in the history books. People are going to remember this election and what it did to instill some drive into the nation. And who knows what happens from here? We'll see.
Hmm. I just looked it up. Yeah, you're right. LA. It's in Summer Olympics 2028.
Oh, 2028.
LA. Yeah. Interesting. I had no idea they were doing it in LA. Well, they better fix that fucking city and that state before that shit happens. So we have something that we can be proud to show to the world as opposed to a fucking burning city. So, anyways, yeah, but nah, it's gonna be good, Harry. Now we just got to get the bullish crypto legislation. Once we get that through, we'll see crypto moving higher. So that's exciting to see. Exciting to see some of the pardons that Trump gave, and then some of the pardons that Biden gave. Oh,
Sus.
interesting. Yeah,
Fauci.
that's the first one I thought of. Fauci goes, "Oh, thank you for the pardon, but I didn't do anything wrong." Oh, then why did he pardon you? Oh, well, and he doesn't have to accept the pardon. You could just say, no, don't accept the pardon. Keep it. I mean, if he's not guilty, right?
Yeah, he's not gonna do that. He's taking it.
No, he's not going to do that. He's taking the pardon. And then Biden pardons his entire family too. Trump didn't do that.
No.
Trump said that. He said that when Biden had done that, he goes, "I could have pardoned my entire family when I left office the first time." And this is exactly what he said. It's the same point. He goes, "But if I would have done that, we would have looked guilty of something.
Hmm.
So I didn't." He didn't. He didn't. Biden leaves, pardons his whole family. Oh, so now he's setting a bad precedent. Oh, let me just pardon my entire family so we can do illegal fucking stuff for as long as we would like to and then pardon ourselves.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a good look, honestly. And he pardoned like the whole family too, like his granddaughter. And I think it kind of was a trickle down effect from whatever shady business dealings him and Hunter were doing in Ukraine. And they got a couple bucks. They got a couple bucks. Who knows what it could be? But yeah, definitely shady, sus. Not a good look.
No, it's a terrible precedent. So now it looks like an admission of guilt. Now it gives people the opportunity to say, "Oh well, Biden pardoned his whole family. Let me pardon my whole family," and then it gives you free reign to just do whatever the fuck you want before you get out of office. It's not good. It's not a good precedent. So yeah, if you had done nothing illegal, why are you looking for a pardon, Mr. Fauci? Huh, Mr. Fauci,
Mr.
fugaz.
Fauci, he's gonna go down one as the all-time villains, super villains.
It's insane what they got away with. Just the group fear that they were able to create during
Hmm.
COVID was incredible.
Yeah.
That's why they're able to get everybody to move that way. Yeah, it's that group think. They were able to paralyze the world with fear. and then they were able to administer the vaccines and this, this
Yeah.
shutdowns and lock up everybody inside.
It
You
was
look
it was
back on it.
yeah, it was a combination of big media scaring people in the news, big medicine pushing the vaccines, your own people's own jobs, telling them they can't come to work unless they get the vaccine. Universities telling kids they can't go to school unless they get it. So yeah, like, it was the group think and instilling that fear that if you don't do this, you're gonna lose your life pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. When the logical thing to say or to do would be, well, if you're young, especially let's say like teenagers or college age, if you're young, healthy, and the strongest, physically and health wise in the society, if this cold virus kills you, well, then society's over. So it doesn't matter, anyways.
Yeah.
Because then everybody's dying, right? If COVID would have killed people like you and me, Bobby, at that time back in 2020,
Yeah, right?
it's over. World's over. But people don't think that way. So you should have thought to yourself, well, if I'm young, healthy, and it's a cold virus, well, why would I get a vaccine that's experimental, that we have no studies on, that's completely new? Why would I take an experimental drug just to do what? And it didn't even do anything. That's the worst part. It didn't even help. You could still get it. You could still transmit it, which they lied about. They said you won't be able to get it anymore. You won't be able to transmit it. Not true. And then people ended up getting it, and then the vaccine harmed those healthy people more than the actual virus did,
Mm-hmm. A lot of people got
which is,
sick just from taking it.
yep. Yeah, just from taking it, they would get sick for a day or two. So you're taking healthy people and then making them sick for trying to prevent another disease. It doesn't make sense. You don't, you don't make people sick to prevent them from getting sick. If they get sick, then you treat them and you help them, right? Now, I understand that you want to be preventative with vaccines, but that's not the point of healthcare, is not to harm people that are already healthy.
Yeah.
So they did, man. Now
Well,
people
I
are getting
mean,
hard.
looking at it, you live and you learn. Unfortunately, like we had to go through that as a society to understand to never do something like that again. Don't ever let the government and the CDC trick us into these big pharma drugs like that ever again, hopefully. So unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives during COVID, and we learned a lot of valuable lessons about what not to do next time. Just don't group fear. Listen to what Dr. Fauci has to say. Close down schools, close down businesses. So many people lost businesses during COVID because of those stupid rules they were implementing, and the 6 feet apart and the mask mandates. So much bullshit that happened that we could learn from. So when it happens next time, we could take the good parts of what we did learn that were good from that, which wasn't a lot, but moving forward, we'll deal with it better than how we dealt with it that time.
Hmm. Absolutely. All right, player. Well, outside of that, I mean, that's pretty much all I had. We'll
Yeah,
touch base on Pumpino. And for you guys who are on the stream, like, comment, subscribe. If you're not already inside the Taylor's Code, join the organization, join the network. We're growing quickly. We're growing income wise. People are making more money than they ever made before once they join the organization because we're doing crypto, e-commerce. We have affiliate marketing, sales training, fitness now. Mr. Bauer teaching you guys how to be a fucking savage like him with the fitness. Join the organization because you guys need a network, people that you can rely upon, that you can do business with, that you can make money with, that you can trust to help grow your own network, grow your own lifestyle, grow your own income. You're not going to be able to do it alone. So join the organization, get the network, start to make money, and then put yourselves in position so that you can operate the way that you want to operate in your life, whether it's moving to a different country, buying a new home, buying a new house, just being able to think the way that you want to think. Many people can't even think the way that they want to think because of their job and because of the situation that they're in. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be the guy who has to change the way that he speaks or the way that he thinks just because he's afraid of what somebody might do to him. That's not the life of a hero. So join the organization of winners. Start to surround yourself with those types of people, and you'll watch how your life will change very quickly. All right. Outside of that, you got anything else, Bobby?
No, I love that last point you touched on. Make sure you guys are building your own things. Don't just go to work every day lackadaisical for someone else, not thinking about yourself. Because at the end of the day, you control your life. Don't let other people's in higher positions than you at your job or wherever it might be control, like Priamo said, what you think or what you say. Make sure to get out there, learn some skills that you can make yourself money. You could rely on yourself for an income, and like Priamo said, you'll be happier in the long run. So that's